Welcome back for another lesson in Chapter 2. We're looking at Lesson 2.3 today. So I'm going to set up a section in my notebook. For mine, this will be the yellow section. So let me go ahead and raise this font to the maximum, and I'll type in the number 2.3. So this is Lesson 2.3. It is about counting techniques. So I suspect that lesson 2.4 might be about probability. I don't know that. I haven't looked ahead, but this one is setting us up for probability. So let me make some copies of this piece of paper so that we have plenty of workspace, and I will be in the textbook on page 62. And again, I'm going to try to just record one page per video, and that will make it a little bit easier for you to reference if you need to go back to a certain page. You won't have to watch all of the video to find what you need. So on textbook page 62, the title of this section is Factorials. And we're going to get to the definition and application of a factorial, but I want to start with just some basic vocabulary. Let me read on page 62 the first paragraph. Sometimes you make yourself a list of errands that you must complete, and you have to make certain chores a priority. By ordering the list, you are finding one of the many possible ways that the errands can be ordered. Factorials are used to determine how many ways ordering can be done. And again, we'll get to that a little bit later, but it starts off with the language of counting. And I want to first of all define the word experiment. Now, if you are reading this word in the context of science, it has a very distinct meaning. But in math, an experiment is an activity or situation for which the outcome is unknown. Or let's say the results are uncertain. That's the language of the book, and that sounds better. Results are uncertain. And an outcome, this is another vocabulary word, is the result of an experiment. And let me put this into an example for you. We'll just use the one that they use there on page 62. So I want you to imagine that we are going to roll a die. More than one are called dice. So if you have two, it's dice. If you have one, it's die. So let's think about the 6 faces of a die. And I'm going to make a copy of this. Let me resize it just a bit, and I'll copy this so we don't have to keep. Okay, so any cube has 6 faces. Okay, what happened? Oh, I didn't copy the smaller version. Sorry. So you've all, I'm sure, played a game that involve at least one die or a pair of dice. So think through this with me. What are the faces on the die? What do they look like? Picture them in your mind, and then let's duplicate them here. So the first thing that you could get is just a 1. And then you could get a 2. You could get a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. And each of these outcomes is equally likely. In other words, all the faces of the die are the same size. It's a random roll of the die. What is the number that will come up? There are people who gamble and who invest lots of money in this habit based on the pure chance that a certain number will come up. So the experiment is going to be rolling the die. This is the activity for which the result is uncertain. And the outcome could be any of these 6 numbers. We don't know which one, but we know it will be one of the 6 choices, or the 6 possibilities, let's say, because it's not a choice. It's simply a random chance. Possibilities. Okay. So we're going to be using the terms experiment and outcome through this lesson. Okay. I'm going to stop this video. Let me see. I think we'll just tackle the terms as we get to them. So I'm going to stop this video and I'll meet you back for page 63, excuse me.